Still in Nigeria, where we await the findings of the Lagos State Judicial Panel on restitution for victims of SARS-related abuses and other matters investigating the October 20, 2020 Lekki tollgate incident. The forensic experts have been hired to unearth the truth of what happened at the Lekki tollgate on that fateful day. This new development was disclosed at the panel's first sitting of the year by Justice Doris Okobi, the chairperson of the panel, while ruling on an application filed by the Lekki Concession Company. The LCC had applied for permission to have access to the tollgate plaza for the purpose of evaluating the damage done for insurance purposes. While ruling against the application, Justice Okobi said the forensic experts would have commenced their work earlier, but for the holidays, which made it difficult to gain access to relevant documents and exhibits which had previously been tendered before the panel. Let's take a look.
The forensic analysis will clear a lot of issues from evidences adduced in the course of the investigation on the incident of 20th October 2020. We are indeed not handouts on even ground for any party in the course of our assignment. A huge sum has been paid for the forensic examination by the Lagos State government with the desire that the panel unearth the truth. In the circumstance, the order sought to repossess for the repossession of toll plaza must await the conclusion of the exercise of the forensic expert of the panel. LCC has waited for over 2 months, and we are bothered by that position, but we are compelled to do justice to all persons in the course of the assignment and will not succumb to any sentiment that the reopening of the toll could spark off any reaction. Mr. Ogulano's submission that status quo be maintained pending the assignment of the panel will not be supporting the cause of justice. The Lekki investigation, as it affects the LCC, is thereby adjourned to 29 January 2021 for a further consideration of the application of Learned Counsel, Mr. Ssacre.
I mean, we did have to hold our breath for a bit for that one yesterday, because when the application was brought forward, there was a deliberation. Both sides put out their arguments as to why they needed access to the Lekki tollgate, and they went went in their chambers, and then when she came back, she gave that judgment. And it's very interesting to see that I mean, it would have been nice if they hired the forensic team right at the beginning of the 6 months that they have to give their recommendations to the Lagos State government, but to at least know that something is being done, and it's an independent forensic team that's supposed to find out exactly what happened. So I'm really looking forward to hearing what they come with and hearing what evidence is put forward in proving who exactly ordered the shootings on the night of October 20th, 2020.
Well, you know, a Rise NSAS protesters reporter. Job well done you've been doing, following, the sitting every time. I think this is reassuring to those who say nothing will come out of this panel, to hear that the Lagos State government has invested a lot of money to get independent forensic auditors to find out what happened. This is not the camcorder ultimate search. This is the real search. And so that's assuring. And like she said, one can understand why LCC would want to go back to evaluate damages, because they did have workers. I don't know what has happened to the workers of LCC in the space of this time that they've been, they've not had work. Have they been paid? So there's that concern there. But like Justice Okobi also said, we have to find out the truth. Justice must be served. We have to know the truth. So, unfortunately, LCC would have to wait until we get to the bottom of all of this.
There's something that she says, you cannot sacrifice justice on the altar of speed. Yes. What do you think, Doctor?
Well, one, our expectation and what we've always demanded is that justice must be done. Because involved in all of this is human lives, is the integrity of the state. It's also about public expectations and perception. And when this judicial panel of inquiry was set up across the country, the people's expectation is that those who have been brutalized, victimized as a result of the NSAS protests or earlier omissions by the police will get justice. Now, with regard to the NSAS protest, well, I guess this forensic team that is now being appointed, the question to be raised is, what is the status of whatever evidence that is available for these forensic experts to investigate?
After this file.
Now, what is the quality, the integrity of the evidence? Is it possible that parts of the necessary evidence would have been tampered with? Because I recall that in some of the previous interviews we had on the issue, we kept talking about how to preserve the integrity of available evidence. We do not have information on that, and the chairperson of that panel of inquiry did not go into details in that regard. I guess that one of the things that the forensic team will have to do will be a visit to what is called locus in quo. Locus in quo refers to the place where the cause of action arose. Now, the place where the cause of action arose in this particular case will be, including others, the Lekki toll gate. Now, since the original incident on October 20, 2020, that place has been cleaned up, right? So there's no possibility now, many months later, that that forensic team will be able to find any remaining evidence apart from the camcorder that Agent Fash discovered. Okay, so there may be nothing left. The locus in quo may have been tampered with or has been tampered with. There's been traffic, there's been activities, there's been rainfall and all that. So which goes to the point about whether this is something that should have been done much earlier in the day. And all of these details will affect public perception of whatever that forensic team comes up with. But in any case, whatever it is, whatever the forensic team comes up with should be made public. The public should be informed. There should be transparency. And above all, the justice that the chairperson of the panel of inquiry has promised is what the average Nigerian is interested in, so that we can have proper closure over, what transpired in October 2020.
Definitely. Part of her statement there, her ruling there, was that the forensic team would be able to take the witness stand in about 21 days. It's 3 weeks from now. Rufai, what do you find about this?
Is it that the forensic team has been working that we didn't know about, or they just employed the forensic? Because if they just employed the forensic team, it's laughable. Once you have a crime scene anywhere in the world, the first thing you see is a cordon off of the crime scene. That Lekki toll gate was not cordoned off. The place was in possession of the police and the military. Day 2 on the 21st of October, where we had mayhem in the whole of Lagos. The place was partly in the house of area boys that were going there to pull out the various burglary barricades. So what is the forensic team forensicing, if I can use that, pardon my French? Because I'm shocked. And that's why when you look at things critical in society, you want to end the trust of people.